Hello everyone, today we are going to take a quick look at dash camera. It's the Viofo A119 camera. This one is the capacitor version, the super capacitor version. It does not have a lithium battery inside, so if you leave it on your windshield in the summertime at 40 degrees, it will not blow up, your car will not catch fire, so you are safe with this model, very safe actually. And this is one of the best configurations on the market for dash cameras. It can go up to 2K resolution, it has full HD and 60 frames per second, it has a Novatec chipset. This is very common and very well implemented on multiple platforms, and you can see that it can come with an optional GPS logger, an optional polarization filter, and so on. But enough with the talk, let's see what we get in this standard version. This is the one with no optionals, it's just the camera, and you can see this is the camera, this is the connector for the GPS where it will dock, GPS receiver. You get a LCD screen, pretty generous LCD screen. The angle of the camera is adjustable and it can be also adjusted from side to side. So this will be on your windscreen like this, and you can aim the camera up and down, left and right as you wish. It's very convenient, and it will be kind of hidden install, so it will not draw too much attention. On the side you get the micro SD card slot here, a reset button here, and on this side you get AV out and of course mini USB. This is not micro USB. If you use the regular version with no GPS, power will enter through this port. Alright, so in the box we get a manual, a quick start guide, which is in English, and the English seems to be good and understandable. So it shows us both ways of supplying power, if you are using the GPS or not. Even the menu is described here, and some operations and settings. Right, so this is very useful. The camera also has line detection and forward collision detection. That is an interesting feature to be tested. To mount the camera on your windshield, you are going to use this. It's an adhesive pad. This will get fixed on the top part, and the camera will just clip like this. You just need to leave it a bit of space, so if you want to take it off, you just need to pull it up and then depart, and that's it. And let's see what else we get. We get a piece of string. I don't know exactly what this is for, and of course we get some pad here, an extra pad. Probably if we want to take this and move it in another place, we have a spare one. We get cable ties with adhesive. This will make installation of your wire easier, so you can route it on your pillars, on your dash, and so on. We get also mini USB cable for taking the files of the camera, and of course we get a car charger for it. It's a mini cigarette type charger. As you can see, this has a wide input voltage. It works from 12 to 24 volts, so you can use it in trucks, and it will output 5 volts and 3 amps, so it's also a good charger theoretically. And you also get a long cable, and it's a long cable but well designed because it's thicker than regular cables. We even get an American wire gauge rating on it. I don't know if the camera will focus, let me try it. So it's 22 thickness. So this will not only provide power, but it should be sufficient, because not a lot of people know that using very long USB cables, which usually have very thin wires, will create a voltage drop from this charger to your camera. So practically this outputs 5 volts and the camera will only receive something like 4 volts, and in some cases even less, and the camera will not charge or will not work properly. I had this problem with an old GS9000 camera. The provided cable was too thin, and the camera will not properly charge due to the voltage drop. I'm also going to power on the camera, and because this is a capacitor version, it will not power on using the capacitor, because it's got limited power, and that is only used for saving video files in progress. So it needs external power. And I'm going to zoom in. Of course, the camera is warning us that we don't have an inserted SD card, and that's why it's flashing this and beeping. Let's see the menu. First option is the resolution, and we have from 2K down to 720p, 30 frames per second, and you can see we have 720p up to 120 frames per second. We get full HD at 60 frames per second, so we have a lot to choose from. And of course we get loop recording. And we can choose an interval from 1 minute to 10 minutes. Let's see what we get. Exposure value, we can adjust that. Wide dynamic range, this improves contrast in some situations. Time-lapse record, this will make a fast-forward video. Motion detection, the camera will record when motion is detected. GPS settings, but I don't have a GPS on this camera, so it's off. The G sensor, and you can adjust its sensitivity. This is lane departure warning signal. If the camera detects that you are leaving your lane, it will give you a warning. This is front collision warning system. It's the same thing. The camera will try to warn you if you are getting too close of an object in front of you. Date stamp, you can enable or disable date and time to be shown on the recorded video. An option to mute or not the audio captured by the internal microphone. Screensaver, if you wish to turn the screen of the camera, and you can choose various intervals from 1 second to 50 seconds. LED, you can choose if the camera will have LEDs lit up or not. Date and time, it's obvious, you can adjust them. Even you get a time zone. A language, the camera supports a lot of languages. I'm gonna browse through all of them, but I'm going to let it in English. A beep sound, if you do not wish to hear beep sounds when you are pressing the keys, can be disabled. The frequency of your light source. Of course, you can format the SD card. You can have an option to format regularly the SD card. You can set the camera to defaults. Here you can set your license plate number, so it will appear on your videos. And here is the firmware version for the camera. And those are all the settings. In case you are wondering what the camera will do if I unplug the power, as this is a capacitor version, you will see right now the camera will apparently shut down, but this one it's still lit up. If it has an SD card inside, it will try to finish writing the files so they will not get corrupt, and the camera will turn off, and the file will be saved. And at power resume, it will start back again by itself and will continue to do its recording. And you can see it will throw me an error that I don't have the SD card, and it will beep. That it's very good, because if you forget to insert an SD card, then you have a useless dash cam. So this was just a quick presentation for the camera and its menu. Of course, a lot of videos with footage from the camera will come, and I'm also going to try to compare it with some other cameras to see how this stacks up against them. Until then, bye bye.